Alrighty here. Got some crazy stuff that just came up. Been meaning to do this. All due to this right here. This is Maine. And old narrow gauge volunteer nature trail. Runs about where this red dot is like the beginning, and it goes all the way up through to this road up top here. Yeah, zoom it in. Of course, this is a screenshot, so I ain't got all the stuff ain't gonna come up, but up to this road about here, and starting in here, there's a trail that leads all the way through here. And now I can't find the damn article. I thought I took a picture of the damn thing, but I can't find it. But there was a man that was riding a bike on the trail here. Didn't end up going home. And of course, this wooded area, as you can see, is right next to a river. And that is the Kennebec River in Maine. Of course, every time I see something like this, I immediately go straight to Indians. Looking up everything I can on Indians. So that being said, trail man missing. And this is in Randolph, Maine. Now, due to the fact that there was no indication on Wikipedia, which doesn't mean that there isn't any Indians out there. I believe this was a huge hotspot for Indian living, being the as you can see over here, the meadows right along here, river, brooks, and trails that are once, Indian trails, and Route 9 and Route 201. Always, when there's a route, them are Maine Indian trails. So that means right along here in Maine, Randolph, Maine, of course, Indian tribes lived. Now, like I said, there wasn't nothing huge that happened in Randolph, Maine for any Indian wars or anything, but it doesn't mean they couldn't have lived there. So, looking up this brought me back to looking up skinwalkers in Maine. So, this is what I did. Skinwalkers in Maine. Of course, immediately, it brings you right to Reddit. Now, when I press on this, we have a person here, I don't know who this is, posted by Billy Twinkie? Nice name. Have any of you seen any skinwalkers in Maine? If so, what town? Now, I'll tell you this. When I was looking up skinwalkers in Connecticut, skinwalkers in Rhode Island, skinwalkers in Mass, and got my triangle built, I also looked up at skinwalkers in Maine. And just because down below here in the comments, are there even people in Maine? I started reading these comments. And someone says hi. Well, we know there's one. Nope. Nope, skinwalker. Laughed my ass off. Yeah, I'm a skinwalker. I don't stalk people, though. I just stalk weird stories online, laugh out loud, answered your question. This was 2 years ago. Now, I came up with my triangle last year, and I looked this up. And just due to the fact that I read these first comments, because it did come up, and I found on Reddit before, this is where I found my Bridgewater skinwalker. This is where I found the Bridgewater skinwalker. But someone down here, do you mean skinwalker specifically or just any sort of shapeshifter? Which any sort of this person don't know much about skinwalkers because they just don't form it in. I mean, they form in any shape, any animal, any time. Doesn't have to be a certain animal. So I figured, screw it. I'm going to scroll down and look. Any kind, I suppose. And then, okay, then I came to this. 2 years ago. Because I've heard a few stories, plus there's lots of native land here, and there's like 95% of woods. Of course, everybody knows Maine is a huge wood supplier. You friggin' did I've heard stories about if there's any place you want to bury a body would be in Maine. Maine, no human has ever set foot. When you travel up to blah blah blah. So I said, screw it. I tapped onto this. Another Redditor, 3 years ago. And female, Dedham, Ellsworth, Maine. And they go on to say, like I said, now remember, this is 3 years old. Last year I looked this up. I didn't go on none of this. Because if I did, I've already covered the story. But they took a 3-hour drive from their house to a camp itself. It's about an hour from the nearest town. Been going to this camp their entire life. My family owns it. Never had an incident like this happen before. I was watching TV in the middle of the night. Both of my brothers and parents had gone to bed. I heard some noise coming from the kitchen. Realized that the dogs needed to go outside to do their business, so I took my brother's 2 pit bulls and my half and pinchers. Tiny dog. There must be a little Doberman pincher lookalike. Outside, turning the porch light on, I walked around the front yard, let the dogs off leash. You know, it's incredibly dark in the woods, Maine. The porch light really only illuminated the porch. I was momentarily distracted when I saw a lone wild bird. On the lake. When I looked back, I saw that the pit bulls were both looking at something in the woods. Wild bird. In the middle of the night. Now, it could be only 2 things. Sometimes a hawk does happen to hunt at night. Or the horned-eared owl. So now their focus is pit bulls are focused on the woods. And they couldn't see what it was. Of course, it's pitch black. Assumed that they seen a squirrel or a raccoon. Raccoon would be more sensible because they are at night. They do go out at night, but there's other animals out at night too. So realized I didn't see Alphi, what a name, anywhere, which is a tiny dog. And it's completely black. I called her a few times and heard some soft whimpering. Right where the dogs had been looking earlier. I took a couple steps in the direction. I called her, again worried that she may have gotten her paws stuck between rocks or gotten stuck in a snake hole. Suddenly I felt something moving behind me. I whipped around and looked down, and there was her dog. So naturally I was thinking, Alpha is here. What the hell is in the window? Window. What is in the woods? So a person took another step forward. Pit bulls began to growl. They were slowly advancing and were now on either side of me, looking right into the blackness. I quickly picked up the small dog, began back up very slowly. I'm not sure what I thought I was there, but there were a lot of animals in Maine. I figured dogs, blah, 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 whatever animal it could be. I heard the most absolutely bone-chilling thing I've ever heard in my life. So the thing coming from the direction in the woods, I heard someone call Elfie's name. So now it's starting to mimic, which skinwalkers mimic. Birds of anything mimicking, like the rabbit at Bridgewater. What's up, Doc? Mimicking. Calling the dog's name. But it was just all wrong. The voice sounded really distorted and it almost seemed to wail. So once again with these skinwalkers, they got this deep, dark, demented, twisted voice that comes out of them. But they mimic you. Just like a raven or a crow, they can talk. So these things know very smartly as a spirit to do what to do of the animals of the wild. So the person freaked out, ran inside with dogs. I have no idea what was out there. My camp is incessantly a log cabin overlooking a lake. Typical for a lake to be out in the woods. Indian tribes, skinwalker. That's right. What do you think? And I can't even put a comment on this. And I wanted to, but that is what has come up. Now, going back to the other story. And this was posted 3 years ago. So that would be 2017, 16, 15, and 2 years before that, 14, 2013. So there's been a lot of stuff, just like in the Bennington Triangle, 2014 or 2015, the skinwalker was seen. Now at the Bennington Triangle in the New York state, there, Whitehall, very short. I mean, it is a distance, probably an hour drive maybe, but in the vicinity of that, I said the word again right, vicinity, nice. In that vicinity, that Whitehall in the Bennington Triangle, yes, skinwalker, yes, the Bigfoot sighting, Whitehall, bang. Now, going into this story. So 2015 was the Bennington Triangle with the two women with the skinwalker coming out in their picnic basket. Whitehall had I don't know when that date was. I still got to get to the video and comment what year that video was made or the newscast. But that being said, and right, we're looking into right now what I said before. We're looking into this. Gotta get back up there. Right here. I'm gonna show you again. Randolph, Maine. As you can see, we have Gardner, Randolph, Maine, Pittston. Now, damn, I didn't want to do that. Don't mind the horse up there. Mapping out where I had to take that picture. Got a video on that of what that was. That was some funny crap. Oh, where am I? Screenshot. Oh, come on, where is it? Need my map. Capture there. Right here. Nope, that ain't it. Nope, that's Florida. Oh, this is a whole nother crazy story, baby. Where is it? Oh, this is it. This is Maine. Now down here where I got Augusta, that's where the trail and the man got lost in. As you can see in this distance, right up here where this dot is, that's where the skinwalker occurred. The skinwalker that I just read from Reddit. The lady who had her skinwalker experience. As you can see how I got it all marked out. Now, not only this, but if you look down here near Rockland, and you come down a little bit down here in this opening right here, we got the Saco River, and the curse of Saco River. Right down here where you see my edit pencil, right up above that open area of body of water. Right there is the curse of Saco River. So I mean, all in here, literally Indian dwelling, and in between all these lines, right, the connection. That means this damn thing travels. I mean, I'm just going with thoughts and theories that I wonder if this man's never been found, bike never been found, and oh, and there's another thing. What did I do? The town. Oh, there it is. I thought I had that. Here's the trail. Surprising, one of the more scarier trail in the list. Old, narrow. This is the list of only in your state. Ghost local went missing here. A ghost of a local who went missing here. Neither he or his bike were ever found. Nobody was ever arrested for the presumed crime, but many believe that it was killed by someone he knew. Today, people reported seeing orbs and spirits along with scary screams of a skinwalker maybe, to get out. Then it says get out, but still, you never know. The trail itself is a bit more than a mile, follows a part of the historic Kennebec Central Railroad bed. Of course, also railroad tracks lead to Indian trails also. I'm glad I found this. I thought I knew I had it, was in the wrong area, but right there is this trail that would lead to each maybe skinwalker traveling, I believe. But just all in all, this story is just insane. Why was this man never found? And once again, body missing, never updated. But I mean, of course, how are you going to update something when it's never found? It's just like the Bennington Triangle. The girl, never found, disappeared in the woods, bang, section of an area. I'm putting this all into maybe another triangle. You know what I'm saying? Going there. There's a lot more triangles out there and a lot more things that could have been, should have been, would have been, have been, and that's just insane. So I'm glad I got this all out. Randolph, Maine, and that other place, dead. Damn it. But yeah, it's all here. It's all here. Oh yeah, here it is. That it? No, that's something else. That's Connecticut. Now, look at this guy, 1978. That's the 78 storm in Massachusetts when it all got piled up. Guy make a phone call. But other than that, another great find, another huge find, man. I am excited for this right here. The Randolph, Maine, and everything, and how it connects Indian dwelling, as you can see, clear as day. And like I say, these creatures form where there was Indian dwelling. That's my guess, that's my thoughts and theories, and I'm going with this all day. And who knows what's been building around here and disturbing the land, but whatever the case may be, and this town right here is very small. And that's another thing I needed to go over. I mean, if it comes up, let me see. Oh, it's Randolph, Maine. I wanted to do history of Randolph, Maine real quick. There it is. And I'm going to go over Wikipedia, what they say of this. And I'll tell you something. Well, George Washington, personal friend of George Washington, there was some people there that was pretty notable and, but there was never any Indian, taking overs or wars here. They must have missed it somehow, but this is nothing right here. It's the Wikipedia thing, and it just says, all it says for history, it don't even have a history. You got the geographic, schools, the census. Doesn't say nothing about no Indians, transportation references, of course, and that's it. Don't say nothing about Indians, but you can see as clear as day when I put out on a piece of land or anything, and there's a river and there's fields, Indian dwelling immediately. But there was no major wars here. There was nothing serious that happened here, so. But because of the place probably getting a little twisted around, and that leads me to this. What kind of serial killer or any killer, even if the person knew the person, it just don't fly with me. That's a small town. Don't even have nothing on it. That's how crazy it is. And for 2010, yeah, let's look at that, what the census says, 2010 population, 1,772 people. Oh, established 2014, still 24 people. Well, it looks like people moved out, got bored of the place. But other than that, that's, people know each other in them towns like that. And if someone did kill them, well, that's the thing I want. Why wasn't it properly investigated? Is a population like that in 1970, 1990, 1900 people, there's a lot of people that moved out. But whatever, there's a lot. Why can't you interview the whole friggin' town? I would, detective, figure it out. But no, there's nothing other than a dead body found. And right, like I've always say, no updates, no nothing, no physical evidence, or even who knows if they're even keeping up on this case. I'd have to punch it in to see, but still, it's crazy. So once again, if they don't come up with nothing or anybody to investigate on that, at that point, that only leaves one more thing. Native American spirit world. Skinwalker in my eyes. And as you can see, the destination and the traveling that these things do, they don't just stay in one place, and they don't just stay in the West. I think they're starting to spiral out and do their dirty deeds. But till that next video, people, be safe, take care. Where the hell's my thing? Oh, there it is. Yep. Maine Skinwalker, baby. Found it. Out.